In this video, I am actually going to remaster a video that I originally filmed and released in May of 2018. And in that video, I actually showcased a book that had been published by Marvel in May of 1984. If you want to know what I'm talking about, stay tuned to the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. I am actually going to remaster a video that I released back in May of 2018. And I'm releasing or remastering this video because not many people saw that original video that I released, because the channel has grown tremendously over that span of time. And the books that I want to show you, I think, are really cool books, especially if you are a fan of Spider-Man, specifically of Amazing Spider-Man. So in this video back in May of 18, I actually showcased a series of books that actually appeared prior to the release of Amazing Spider-Man 252. And a lot of people say that that is essentially the first appearance of the black costume. And a lot of people don't know, and some do know, that there were actually some appearances of the black costume prior to 252. And so in this video, same as the video in May, I'm actually going to show you what those comics are. And I'm not going to go into as much detail, but I do want to show the books in the event that people actually want to try to track down some of these books. And I can't remember exactly how much I paid for the books. I did do a quick spot check, and there are some of these books online right now, and the prices are not bad. So if you are a fan of Spider-Man, if you are a fan of the black costume, this might be a great video for you. And you definitely want to stay tuned, because I have a couple of really special books that I want to show you at the very end after I show you this initial set. So again, the Amazing Spider-Man 252 was released in May of 1984, if memory serves. And so everything that I'm going to be showing you is basically an appearance of the black costume prior to that date. And the very first book that I'm going to show you is one that is called Amazing Heroes, that came out, I think, in November of 81. I want to say, don't hold me to that, but this is Amazing Heroes number 35. Really cool white cover book. This one has definitely some color rub on it that can probably be improved with a clean. And when I originally picked this book up so long ago, I hadn't even thought about cleaning my own comic, and so I definitely haven't attempted to do anything on this one. But definitely a really cool book that features, again, some photos of the black costume of Spider-Man. The next book is one that was a really hard book for me to find. It was not on my initial list. I actually found out about this book later, after I thought that I had all the books. I found out about this one, and then I was able to track it down. This is the Comics Journal, and this one I think came out in 82. Don't hold me to that. This is, again, the Comics Journal number 85. It is a really nice, like, magazine size book. It's actually a pretty thick book. And this one, like I said, took me some time to actually be able to track this one down. I want to say it took a couple of months before I was able to actually spot one and be able to pick it up. This one, this next one is Heroes for Hotline. This came out in December of 1983. Another white cover there. This one has some rub over here on this right side, but generally is a pretty nice book right there. And there is no issue number. It's just Heroes Hotline, December of 1983. Should be a relatively easy book, I think, to identify. The next one is the comic reader that actually came out in December of '83. This is comic reader number 215. And the crazy story about this one is I was able to actually find it. Someone sent it to me. It was damaged in the mail. The person told me to keep it. They ended up sending me another copy of it. And I actually already gone out and purchased an additional copy. So I ended up with basically 3 copies of this. But it is it's a newspaper print type book, including the cover. Comic reader number 215. I'm actually looking at the price on the back, and a couple of bucks. Not expensive at all. Not expensive at all. This next one I think is a really nice cover because of the contrast in color. This is Amazing Heroes number 39, and this came out in January of 1984. Nice cover right there. I definitely dig the blue contrasted against the red, the yellow, and the black and white photos over here. Definitely a cool book. And again, all of these books have either a photo or two, or a spread that actually talks about the black costume or shows photos of the black costume. This next one is Marvel Age number 12. This is actually a cover swipe of Secret Wars number 1. And you guys know Secret Wars number 8 is actually where the black costume's origin was. But this is Marvel Age number 12, which is a swipe of Secret Wars number 1. Definitely a cool cover there. Wish I had picked up a better copy of this one. This one definitely has some things going on this the spine side, but not a bad book overall. And then the very last book where something related to the black costume actually appeared before 252 is another Marvel Age book. It's Marvel Age number 13. Definitely a cool cover. I actually have 2 copies of this one. I was actually out hunting maybe 6 months ago and was in a comic shop. I saw this, another copy of this book. I had never actually seen it in the wilds. I actually bought this one off of eBay, I think. I saw that one in the wild, ended up picking it up just because I thought it was cool, that I recognized it, was able to find it in the wild. This original one is definitely a better copy of the book, but definitely a cool book to kind of find out in the wild. So, as I mentioned, there are a couple of really cool and different books that I want to show you right now, but I want to kind of tee it up with this one right here. Amazing Spider-Man 252, the book that we've been talking about. This ties with Marvel Team Up 141 for the first appearance of the black costume. But as you guys know, it is also a homage to Amazing Fantasy 15, a book that I am hoping to get at some point. But what's really cool about this is this cover, again, is a homage to Amazing Fantasy 15. Amazing Fantasy 15 was actually a cover that was done by Jack Kirby. But it actually wasn't the very first cover that was done for Amazing Fantasy 15. Steve Ditko actually did a cover for Amazing Fantasy 15, a cover that was rejected by Stan Lee. Stan actually reached out to Jack Kirby, asked him to redo the Ditko cover because he didn't like Ditko's version. And so one of the things that when I found this out was kind of in the back of my mind is, well, whatever happened to Steve Ditko's cover? So what I found out was that there was a Mighty Worlds of Marvel book that was actually released in the UK. And this book actually features stories from Hulk 1, Fantastic Four 1, and AF 15. So I thought that was really cool because it's basically a reprint of some stories that were released in the United States before the UK market. But on the back side of it, the original Steve Ditko cover was actually used for the back side of this this Mighty World of Marvel issue number 2. Backside is Steve Ditko's artwork, and it looks very similar to the one that Kirby actually created, except in this one, Spider-Man is much lower to the ground. In the Kirby version, he is much higher in the air, and the people look more like ants than they do right here. So that was one of the obvious differences between the Ditko and the Kirby covers. But one of the things that I also found out was that cover, that original Steve Ditko, also appeared in another place. It actually appeared in a fan magazine, a black and white fan magazine that was released in the United States. and I was able to actually track one of these down. And I can't remember the name of the magazine. It's actually on the inside, and I can't take it out right now, but this is the basically the back side of that fan magazine featuring the original pencil work from Steve Ditko. And I think it's really cool, especially because I actually have the letter and the envelope that this magazine actually came in when it was sent out originally back in the day. So again, just a couple of really cool pieces of comic history that I guess I have the pleasure of actually having in my collection. So with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And again, amazing Spider-Man, my favorite character, all of this stuff around the things that came before 252 is just some of those really cool nuances of the hobby that I absolutely love. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you can give this video a thumbs up, I would definitely appreciate it. And certainly if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. Regie Collects on Instagram and regiecollects@gmail.com. Take care.